Viewers, a video of a young girl stripping to her inner wear at a university in Tehran has taken the internet by storm, with many calling it a powerful symbol of growing resistance in Iran to the strict dress code for women. The student was detained and whisked away, but her whereabouts remain a mystery. Reports say that she's gone missing, and Iran is now drawing global condemnation over the incident. Iran has a strict dressing policy in place for women. Viewers, wearing a hijab or a headscarf in public is mandatory for women, failing which they are subjected to stringent punishment. In 2022, protests erupted across Iran over the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini, who was tortured to death in the custody of the morality police. Her crime? That she was not wearing the hijab properly. The Tehran University incident has sparked a massive debate here in India as well. While several women activists have slammed Iran as regressive, many of the political leaders who batted for choice during the hijab row are now silent. Let's listen into these reactions.
It's not easy to walk out like that wearing what she did. And the fact that and especially in her culture, so the fact that she did goes to show the level of desperation and frustration that women in Iran feel when it comes to their own personal freedom, their bodily integrity, and the right to make their own choices.
I support not just this young woman, but I support all the Iranian women when they demand the right to dress as per their choice, the right to freedom of their lives. The slogan which has been given by the Iranian women is Women, Life, Freedom.
हिजाब एक खालिस शरई और मजहबी मामला है और उसको मजहबी नुक्ते नज़र से देखा जाना चाहिए। ईरान में बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो इसराइल की फिक्र और अमेरिका की फिक्र के हामिल हैं और वो इस्लाम को बदनाम करने के लिए मुसलमान का नाम रख करके इस तरह की हरकतें करते हैं।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's take this across to our guest. Joining us, first person with us is Darya Saifai, who's a Belgian MP and Iranian women's rights activist. We also have with us Imran Ahmed Ali, lawyer and political analyst. Joining us also is Rashmi Sawant, activist, Yana Mir, activist, also with us. Darya Saifai, let me begin with you and ask you, what is your reaction to what has taken place? Because many are seeing this as a very powerful symbol of the kind of resistance, because this is really a moment where, you know, somebody gets so fed up with this kind of strict moral policing that they say enough is enough.
Of course, I have a lot of admiration for this girl and her courage. She became a symbol of resistance and fighting for freedom, but actually it's such a 45 years in Iran, and as you mentioned, also we have this movement of woman life freedom, which is still alive and will never die until the Iranian women has gained their own principal rights. And that's how, for example, I myself was in the prison of Ayatollahs when I was in Iran in 1999. We are fighting such a long time, and this girl shows how courageous the Iranian women they are. She is fed up of the way that she is treated. With her, millions of other Iranian women, and enough is enough. So she stands there high and she shows her power on this misogynic regime. You don't know what it means for her, risking her life, but standing still such a strong way there. I have a lot of admiration, but where is she? We should not stop searching her until we find the news from her, because this is what my concern is today. Where is she?
Right. Let me take this question across to Imran Ahmed Ali. Imran Ahmed Ali, you heard the voice over here, and she says that you don't know what it means to go through that day after day. And she herself, of course, is an Iranian. She's a Belgian member of parliament, fights for the women's rights there in Iran. And she says that this is something that, requires a huge amount of courage and should be respected. Your response to that, Imran Ahmed Ali?
Absolutely. We live in the year 2024, and it's time for us to stop asking women to what they should wear and what they should not wear. And I would say that the headscarf or the hijab is entirely the discretion of the woman whether she wants to wear it, and we have to, like society evolve, we need to evolve as people as well. However, if you consider the whole situation, it's absolutely courageous because what she stood for is for the right. However, the way she's done it probably may be a little extreme. I don't know a single university in which you could strip down to your underwear and to move, and move around. However, what I feel is that the proving or giving a woman the right to remove her headscarf is equally important to giving a woman the right to wear it. So let's stop moral policing women in today's day and age, what they can, what they cannot, what they should wear and what they should not wear.
How would you respond to that, Darya Safai? He's saying that the way in which he's protested is too extreme. Do you agree with him?
Extreme, it's just a fight. She is showing that you should not have any power on my body. This is not the way that she wants to clothe herself when she is going to university if she is free. No, not at all. This is disobeying and showing I will say no to the way that you are treating me, because the way that you dictate me what should I wear or what not, it's just my own basic rights and you don't have anything to say. Of course, the sort of protest that she's doing can look extreme because the people think, oh, she wants to be a nudist. No, not at all. If she didn't do that, did you ever heard from her? There are lots of women who remove their headscarf, they are beaten, they are raped, they disappear, and you don't know about them. No one knows about them. But this girl has shown with the way that she protested, she is now around the world. She has gone viral on social media. This is how you show your protest. When it was forbidden for a black woman to sit in a bus which are filled with white people, Rosa Parks shows her power of saying no, disobedience, and that's what she is doing today. This girl is a hero.
This girl is a hero. Dr. Zina Shaukat Ali also with us. Dr. Zina Shaukat Ali, what would you say to the Member of Parliament from Belgium who's saying that this girl is a hero? There comes a time when people are so fed up that they do have to do something that shakes up the entire system. That's literally going to shock the socks off the people who are watching that, and that's the kind of sentiment that's expressed over here. Please respond to what's being stated here by Darya Safai.
Thank you. Just before that, I would like to say that, this entire act of her disappearance, violence against her, treating her in this brutal, inhuman, oppressive fashion has to be completely and absolutely condemned. Let me start with that. Now, as far as her personal, expression of showing her, of resistance, of showing her resistance is, I do feel a bit extreme. And that's, there are many universities in the world, there are protests every part of the world, where men and women can, protest in various fashions. So I do not believe that, one has to be extreme to make a point. You can make a point, and the point has to be made legally, strongly, politically, socially. You have the complete backing of loads of women across the continent. Muslim women like me who support this kind of thing, that you cannot enforce a person, and this is not religious. You're confusing first religion and culture. And first of all, I think that entire debate, on whether this is religious or not, I have argued against that it is not religious. It is more cultural. So, and anyway, enforcing, a state enforcing on personal choices of what a woman should wear, whether she should wear the headscarf or not, is perfectly legitimate. It is the worst form of misogyny. It is the worst form of patriarchy that is being enforced in Iran, and I have said it time and again on national and international shows. But to be extreme in this form is not something that I would,
Okay,
endorse.
Let me bring in Zeba Yasmin on that. Zeba Yasmin, she's, of course, Zina Shaukat Ali is somebody who speaks against patriarchy. She's against the treatment. She's also supporting her on the cause. But the form of protest is wrong in this particular case. What would you like to say to her? Zeba Yasmin.
See, the form of protest was extreme. But yes, the frustration must be extreme. That is why the result came out this way. And I'm no one to pass the judgment whether it was right or wrong, but I stand with the female because no one has the right to tell us which religion to follow and how much to follow. It is my own decision which religion to follow and how much to follow. In Quran also it is simply mentioned that we are only answerable to Allah, nobody else. So who is this person who is questioning the girl, or the community who is questioning the girl? It is only Allah we are answerable to, and we are not bound by any rules that we cannot wear this. Being a Muslim female, I don't wear hijab. I just want to know that who can dare to say I'm not a Muslim. I just want to know that. I am a Muslim, I am an educated female, I am working, and I am mother to 2 girls, but no one can tell me what to wear and what to not. And if something is wrong, the way of protest is wrong, that can be told to the girl. Punishment can be given for that, but punishment can't be given for not wearing burqa.
There are all sorts of bizarre explanations coming in. Atikur Rahman, of course, she says, as a woman, nobody can tell her which religion to follow, what dress to wear, how much to follow a religion. That's a personal choice. But you have bizarre comments coming in, like top cleric Shahabuddin Rizvi saying that the protests over hijab are an attempt to demean Islam and claim that some in Iran sympathize with the US and Israel. How does this have anything to do with the fundamental rights of women?
Madhav, this is a fight between orthodoxy and liberty. And I should say today that oppression anywhere in the world is a threat to liberty everywhere. And this, what Iran is doing, is the height of oppression.
And that's why this lady has every right to show that even she can cross the limits. Of course, we are opposing the way she protested. But look at the height of the oppression. Since the Iranian regime is going at the worst side of it, she has shown that even she can protest, taking the worst side. We are missing the point, Madhav. The women today will not be obliging this man to dictate their terms. That's a clear message. Now we should reform ourselves. The man and the patriarchy should reform. Otherwise, this will go haywire. We should realize that what she is showing to the world is the women will not oblige to the dictates of the men.
All right, let me bring in Rashmi Sawant on that. Rashmi Sawant, here in India, we've had a very different kind of debate when it comes to the hijab. We have had court rulings, and of course, the matter is pending before the Supreme Court, if I'm not mistaken. But earlier, on the 15th of March 2022, the Karnataka High Court had ruled that hijab is not part of religious practice while upholding the state government's ban on wearing headscarf in educational institutions. At that point of time, those who were batting for this said that this is about choice. What about the choice of this young woman?
Well, Madhav, I do believe that, women have full right to show their identity, and face becomes an absolute important part of, showing that. Unfortunately, many young women are conditioned to, hide their faces. They're forced by their families to do so. And institutional, safeguards allow for families to, push them in this certain way. I'm from Udupi, where the hijab protest first started. And I know, young girls who used to come to college with me who would take off the hijab at college because they were forced by their families to wear hijab. And they had to do it when they were leaving home. So I for once know that such things lead to such forceful measures. At the same time, I'm very upset with the way that people are protesting the way in which this young girl protested, but have no qualms about the extremism of the regime. They're saying that the way she protested is extreme, but not the way that the regime is sort of coming down upon the women. I think that is extreme. The moral policing, that is extreme. It is, it is unimaginable in 2024 for women to be asked to wear hijab, and that to a certain way. I think people are missing the point here that she lost it when the moral police came to her and said and harassed her for not wearing the hijab the right way.
And the worst part is that after the Mahsa Amini saga, Zeenat Shaukat Ali, one would have imagined that there would be more pressure on Iran. But that's not the case. The rules have actually gotten much stricter in Iran. And that perhaps is the suppression that has led to this desperate act.
I think you're quite right. As far as Iran is concerned, its laws are concerned, there has to be a total and complete overhauling where women are concerned. I have supported that. There is no compulsory hijab. The word hijab does not mean clothing in the Quran. There are 7 verses. I have quoted that time and again. I have written articles on it. And this kind of oppression that is coming from the state is intolerable, and it is completely against personal freedom. And as I have said, deplorable. It has to change. Today or tomorrow, they will have to take cognizance. And secondly, they're not, there is no respect for civil rights, for the rights of a citizen. There is no protest. You don't have to go to extreme limits. Your voice is enough. You have to be able to talk. You have to be able to express yourself clearly that you don't stand for this. And, I think that has to be followed, and it will be. I think, hopefully with time, things are going to change. But yes, there are certain fundamental laws. You don't go masquerading in the United Nations, without your clothing. Or if there's a protest, you don't. At least I don't believe in that kind of a protest. I do understand that she was running to this extreme. And I'm not being judgmental about it. I'm simply saying that this is, whether it was a man or it was a woman, this is not something that, things can be done legally, and that would be much more
there can be differing opinions about whether certain standards of public morality, etc., were not followed. But the point is that the situation there is so desperate, people are so suppressed that they believe, and a young girl like her believes, that there's no other option but to resort to this. We certainly hope that that she is safe, that wherever she is, and that the regime does not crack down any further upon her, and that she is allowed to live as a free citizen at the very earliest. Darya Safai, as well as Rashmi Sawant, Dr. Zeenat Shaukat Ali, Zeba Yasmin, Atikur Rahman, Imran Ahmed Ali. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us on the debate this evening.